Well, thanks everybody for joining us today. This is the second episode where we're talking about Chinese investment to Germany. And I'm joined again today by Sandra Link, who's a partner in our Frankfurt office. Hi, Sandra.
Hello, Mark. Nice to see you again.
I think last time we talked about there were quite a lot of deals happening in Germany from Chinese investors. What do you think is the most common mistake that Chinese investors make when they're trying to buy a company?
Well, I have to say, not listening to the lawyers. Sometimes we see that the Chinese investors have a clear plan in mind. So some management from China obviously has an idea how something has to be implemented. And when the local advisors come in, that's often already at a late stage. And we have seen term sheets that are really difficult to implement. And then it's sometimes quite difficult to explain why the German market might be different and why some things need to be handled differently.
And so a lot of these processes, are they auctions, or are they, is there a lot of competition on the project, or are they often with Chinese partners a one-on-one kind of negotiation?
It depends. We see both. We see auction processes where a sell side sets up a professional process, has involved investment bankers, and offers the target to several investors and to the market. And you have to clearly follow the process that is set by the sell side. But we also see investments from Chinese investors where they know the target company very well from previous trading relationships, and so then there are one-to-one negotiations, and it's no auction. So
I guess if the Chinese partner is not very familiar with the German environment, it can be difficult to be successful in an auction because you probably have to make decisions pretty quickly, and there's other people trying to buy the company.
Yeah, that's correct. What we see is, in particular with Chinese transaction teams, they all focus at one problem after the other. So everyone in the team looks at one problem at the same time, whereas the German sell side wants the other team to deal with different questions at the same time to bring a solution within a certain time frame. And the European market is used to have one expert for the accounting, one expert for the legal part, one expert for IP questions, and then they want all problems to be solved at the same time. And the Chinese teams want to do one after the other, and only if problem one is solved, they will move to the other. And of course, this often does not match if they want to participate in an auction process.
Sure. So I guess it's not that different from China or anywhere else, but maybe if you just quickly walk us through this diagram, what are the main steps in doing a deal in Germany?
Well, the main steps are marked in red, and I think they are pretty much the same as in China. So the main steps are the data room opening, the due diligence, then the signing of the SPA and the closing. You also have, of course, the NDA as a first step, which is the non-disclosure agreement that you agree to keep information confidential. After the signing, you have regulatory approvals that might be required for the transaction, like merger clearance. The German foreign investment control clearance has gained more and more importance during the last years, but also, of course, regulatory clearances from China that are required before you can really close the deal.
Okay, great, thanks. And so do you have any advice for Chinese clients who are looking to do an M&A deal in Germany? What should they be thinking about doing?
They should be very open-minded and look at the different problems at the same time. I think that's the main issue that we have to deal with, and focus on the commercial issues, on the important issues, because there are a lot of minor issues, and in such kind of process, it's very important to look at the big picture, to see what are the main issues that need to be dealt with, and not to focus too much on smaller items. We have seen cases where we have been discussing on a POA or a power of attorney and the scope for days, while the commercial issue, whether the target suffers a lot of liabilities or whether how the purchase price is calculated, this is almost ignored in the discussions. So I think in order to complete a deal successful, the priorities are quite important.
Okay, and so I guess the Frankfurt office, you're happy just to have a chat to any Chinese companies looking to do something in Germany. And I think we've also got a number of Chinese speaking lawyers in the German office. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. We have Chinese speakers who are also Chinese nationals who grew up in China and who have a German law background, which is very important to facilitate the talk to the clients and help to shift the focus to the real issues.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for your time today, Sandra.
Thanks, Mark, and happy to talk to any of your clients once you want to do an investment in Germany.